Hello, Arthur.
Betty, what are you doing here?
It's all right, love. I'm not a ghost. Well, I don't think I am, anyhow.
Are you all right?
Well, I still feel a bit sort of fuzzy, you know, but I'll be all right if I don't stand on my head for a couple of days.
Oh, Joe, reading it. It says that Mrs. Caldwell and Ray are serious.
Yeah, I know. The driver's dead, you know.
He what? It just says he's critical.
Yes, well, he's critically dead now.
It don't say that here.
Well, it was 6 o'clock this morning.
Come on, love. You're shaking like a leaf. Sit yourself down. I'll get you port and brandy.
Oh, I'm all right, love. Me and Cyril were discharged. We come home in a police car. Oh, I've come to look after the shop and I wondered if you'd be all right on your own.
Look, love, you don't know what day it is. You want to get off home and lie down. And don't bother about anything.
Oh, Arthur, he was such a nice little chap. He used to call me Bluebell. We all called him Ringo. He was married to that red-headed woman, you know, that works at the cleaners in Market Street.
It's over now, love. You're all right.
I know, but he was such a nice little chap.
What do they say about that Langton chap and Mrs. Caldwell?
I don't know, love. We couldn't find out about him. I think they've taken him to another hospital.
Oh, from what I hear, he's a fit enough lad. He'll be all right.
Mrs. Caldwell's lost a lot of blood, they say. I don't know what they think. They never say, do they?
Yeah, well, at most times she could do 10 rounds with Cassius Clay as well. It'll take a lot to see her off.
I don't know, Arthur. Not this time, love.
O God, the creator and preserver of all mankind, may it please thee to comfort this thy servant, giving her patience under her sufferings and a happy issue out of all her afflictions.
Mrs. Sharples?
And this we beg for Jesus Christ his sake. Amen.
Mrs. Sharples, I'm sorry,
I'm not going.
but Dr. Matthews...
Go and tell Dr. Matthews to worry about somebody else. I should have thought he got enough on his plate, some of the folk I've seen round this place.
Mrs. Sharples, you've been here all night.
Yes, and I shall be here all day and again tonight.
You need rest yourself.
Get all the rest I need when this one opens her eyes.
There's nothing you can do for her.
I can hold her hand. There's no law against holding people's hands. I suppose you've invented a machine to hold people's hands now.
We're worried about you, Mrs. Sharples.
The time to worry about me when I'm lying there looking like that.
You realise I'll have to tell Dr. Matthews?
I don't care if you tell Doctor Who.
There's nothing you can do.
I could be sitting here for when she opens her eyes. That's what I can do. Give them a blue uniform and they think they own your body and soul, don't they?
Hilda! Hilda! Hilda!
Good morning. How are you?
Ooh, diabolical. What a night. Who was that snoring all night?
You.
Was it, Tech? It was Albert.
What are you talking about? I had to stop Albert getting out of bed and smothering you with his pillow.
Where is he? Where is Albert?
Albert? He's gone to the lavatory. It's the only place you can get a bit of kip in here.
What's for breakfast, Chuck?
Oh, we didn't want to disturb you.
Well, don't say I missed my breakfast.
They couldn't waken you up. You were snoring, singing in your sleep. Aye. Oh, it was awful.
What time's 11's?
They'll bring you some tea.
Can I have a bacon butty?
They'll bring you some tea.
Oh, roll on. How you feeling?
Shocking.
Ooh, this arm's giving me jip.
Hey,
What?
they say Ray Langton's bad. They've sent him to another hospital, orthopaedic.
What's that cover?
I don't know, it's bones and all that.
Well, can't we find out?
Well, it was a night nurse who told me. We can ask that Indian doctor when he comes round.
This arm's giving me jip. The last coast trip I take, I'll tell you. Next time I go to Lake District, I'm a Boeing 707 hours walk.
Stan, what do I look like?
Shocking.
Oh, you're a big help, you are.
You look as though I was on a share with half a brick. Hey, you want to look at yourself?
I don't want to have a look at myself.
How do? How they treating you? Oh, hey, where's Ken and Dickie?
They're sending him out this morning. Hilda and Annie are going with him too. There's a train about 11:30.
Oh, well, there's no rush, is there? We're all right, dear. Get our heads down, you know. Get this third commentary on Saturday from Wembley, you know. Hey, what's the food like? Oh, bad as that, is it? I'll get Harold to bring some in, you know. Do you know, Jack, during the war, the finest times of my life in Tripoli Hospital?
Are you planning to keep me awake all day as well?
The finest blanket bath I'd ever had in Tripoli Hospital, I'll tell you. But no need be like that. I don't try and keep you pecker up.
How are you, love?
I'm all right, love.
Ah, sure.
Jack, love? Jack?
Oh, get off, will you? Oh, it's you, Annie.
Hello, then. Hello. What's you listening to? Nothing on.
I know. It's just like having your head under the blankets. It's lovely.
Oh. And how are you, Mr. Ogden?
Oh, all right, thanks.
Well, I'll have to leave you, Chuck.
Oh, you won't, love, will you?
Yeah, I will have to, because they've discharged us, you see, and there's a train at past. Now, will you be all right? Because I can stop up here and find some digs somewhere and come and see you if you want.
Oh, no. I'll be all right, love, honest.
He doesn't look himself, does he, Mr. Walker? Did you manage to get some sleep?
How's Minnie Caldwell?
Don't know, love. She's still unconscious.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know. And then there's Elsie. She's just gone. Just went out last night.
She's what?
Ill too.
I don't know. She just walked out of the hospital. Nobody knows.
Hey, they're sending Ray to an orthopaedic place. He must be bad.
I know, love. I heard. Well, we really do look like the Magnificent Seven, don't we?
Why, 7?
Just a figure of speech, Mrs. Ogden.
How's your arm, Chuck?
Well, it is my elbow, you know. It's a very tender joint. I'm frightened I might be able to straighten it out again. I mean, it's my supping arm.
Well, if it's stuck in that position, you won't be able to get your hand down so often, will you?
Yes, I thought, yeah. What do you mean?
Well, it's nice to see you perking up again.
Well, you've got to keep going, haven't you? I mean, you've got to carry on.
Yeah. Ah, what is it, love?
Nothing, love, honest. Nothing, honest.
Well, it was Ray who taught the driver into going off the main road, wasn't it?
Oh, Dickie, what does it matter who it was?
I'm just saying, that's all.
Oh, honestly, love, you'd think you'd have something better to worry about. Where is he?
They moved into another hospital. Can't find out anything else yet. Audrey?
Look, I like him. I've said I like him. I'm married to you.
I can't stand to see somebody else looking at you. I love you. Honest, I do.
No, you do, and I love you. I married you, didn't I?
I'm glad you remembered.
Well, you don't give me very much chance to forget it. Oh, love, you're like a little lad sometimes.
I can't help it.
Well, I can't help the way I am. You've got a lot to learn, but I'm on your side, honest I am.
How is she?
Oh, she's had some breakfast. She's just dozed off.
Mrs. Galwell?
Oh, I don't know. Mrs. Sharples is still sitting with her.
And what's the doctor say about you two?
Oh, I think he's coming back again after. I think we'll have to stay in. Will you be able to manage with the kids?
Oh, yeah, I'm magic with them.
Have you heard anything about the others?
Well, they've moved Maggie Clegg into a side ward.
About Ray? They say they've moved him.
Yes, they have, but we don't know why.
Oh, don't disturb her.
I won't. Hello.
Hello.
How's your nut?
Oh, it's not so bad. I like your sling. What time is it? Did I disturb you?
Oh, God, it's cold. What time is it?
11 o'clock.
I'm as stiff as a board.
Well, I was worried about you. I wanted you to go up to bed.
Oh, it's so cold.
I've made a nice hot cup of tea. Go and sit by the fire.
Oh.
How's your wrist?
It aches a bit. It's all right.
I've sent for the doctor.
Oh, I don't want any doctor.
Well, you're having him whether you want him or not. You're lucky you're not dead. Hey, you shouldn't be smoking.
Hey, What was I saying last night?
Oh, all sorts of things. I was that worried I sat up with you all night.
Oh, I've got to lift off this young couple. Fell asleep in the back of their car all the way home. They must have thought I was cracked or something.
Oh, Elsie, I was frightened.
I'm all right now, honest I am.
Why don't you go upstairs and lie down for a bit till the doctor comes,
Yup, I want to try sitting up for a bit first. Oh, I've got a rotten head and all. Whew. Thanks for sitting up with me, Dot.
I was worried. You fell asleep and I thought you'd fainted, and then you woke up and then you fell asleep again. I wanted to get you upstairs, but I couldn't shift you.
Oh, it's about 97 this morning. Feel as if I've been at the dentist under gas all day. I was rambling on last night. What was I saying? What was I talking about?
About court. About going to court.
Oh, aye. And did I plead guilty or not guilty?
Oh, they'll let you off, Elsie. I know they will.
I bet they will. I bet they fleming well will.
Elsie.
Dot, do you know what I was dreaming of last night? Do you remember that time when you were very ill? When you lost the baby? And we were on that station waiting room and we couldn't get a doctor.
Yeah.
And all the phone was smashed up.
Yeah.
And while we were waiting, just to keep my mind off things, I kept talking to you and I kept running out of words. By the hell, greenhouse, we've been through some thick and thin together. We can cope with a bit of shoplifting, can't we? Oh.
Oh, it's only me.
If you'll excuse me, I'll just go and get you something.
I'm sorry, I called a bit earlier, but Mrs. Greenhouse said you were still asleep. Just thought I'd inquire.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of that lately, aren't you? Inquiring about me health and my whereabouts.
I'm sorry, it's just that nobody knew where you were. You started a bit of a scare.
Oh, and now you're going to charge me with that, starting a scare?
Well, as long as you're all right.
I'm all right. Everything's all right.
They were all worried.
Were they? Well, go back and tell them to let me worry about me, eh? I've had plenty of practice at that.
How is she?
I think her breathing's a bit more steady, but I don't know, and I can't get any sense out of them.
Why don't you leave them to it? Go back to bed.
Look, I've spent a good percentage of my life sitting next to 6 folks. It's the one hobby I've got left.
But it doesn't help her.
Do you know it doesn't help her? You must have had a very peculiar childhood.
I don't understand.
Well, when you were asleep, you knew there was somebody there in the room with you, looking after you. It might have been your mum, it might have been a gollywog, but whatever it was, you knew it was there.
You did, didn't you? I'm just worried about you.
Yes, well, seeing as how they don't dish out gollywogs on the national health and that cat of hers won't stay still for 2 minutes. It looks as though I'm landed with a job, doesn't it?
I suppose it does.
Come on, Minnie Colwell. Shape yourself.
I can't get Mrs. Sharples to budge. Is she all right?
I think so. She just keeps dozing off.
I saw that doctor with a moustache in the corridor. He says that Mrs. Clegg's in a side ward. She's got a fractured pelvis, but she'll be all right.
Good Lord, how long will that be?
About a month.
Have you heard anything about Ray?
It's an orthopaedic hospital he's gone to. He's damaged his spine.
Mrs. Sharples?
Present and correct, thank you very much.
Dr. Matthews would like to talk to you.
Well, he knows where I am.
Well, he can't come here at the moment, Mrs. Sharples.
Why not?
Because he's in casualty. Because he's been on duty for 14 hours and he's treating patients. It's bonfire night, in case you've forgotten, and they started coming in already.
I'm sorry, love.
I'll sit with him.
Why does he want to see me?
He wants to talk to you about Mrs. Caldwell.
Absent friends.
Absent friends.
What did you say his name was again?
Reg Ellis. It's terrible. No one at the hospital had any idea he was dead.
Oh, well, they never crack on at hospitals if they can help it, do they?
The funeral's on Friday. I thought perhaps one or two of us could get together, you know, the lame and the halt.
Oh, yes.
Do you think his wife would mind?
Oh, I'm sure she wouldn't.
How are you feeling now, love?
Well, you know, all right, but a little tired.
Oh, well, I wouldn't like to go through that again in a hurry, would you?
Really, Mrs. Ogden, do you know, I was thinking it might be a very good idea to organise another coach crash on Christmas Eve, perhaps. Do it properly this time.
What do you mean?
I mean, no, I wouldn't like to go through it again, Mrs. Ogden.
Oh, well, all right. I was only saying it for the sake of something to say.
Yes, well, I wish you wouldn't keep on saying stupid and obvious things just for something to say.
Well, I don't care what she says, it were a nightmare. I never thought I'd come out of it alive, I'll tell you that.
You only got a black eye.
What? Another inch, I wouldn't be here now. Do you know, I were flung forward in that coach. Oh, must have been 20 feet. Another inch, and that luggage rack would have gone right through my brain.
You only bumped into Miss Nugent's coach. You'd put it over the back of the seat.
Mind you, it were lucky for Stan, though, because I took the full weight of him, you know, sort of cushioned him against the impact. Oh, it were a miracle for Stan, me just being there.
Where did you end up?
Oh, I can't remember. I was just thrown forward. I don't know. But I never felt such pain, never in the whole of my life, and that's the truth. Never, never, never.
I was shouting, Stan, Stan, and it were all dark.
It was the kind of pain as though your body was being forced through a vice.
Oh, mine was just my eye, you know, all round my eye.
Do you know what I mean, that kind of pain?
You know, Arthur, like when you put both feet down one leg of your underpants.
How very amusing.
I don't know what you're going on about. The both of you only got a couple of pow slaps.
Pow slaps?
Well, then, love slaps, then. You think you're in line for the VC.
I think that this is evidence of something rather more than a love tap. Although, of course, your experience of love taps may be greater than mine.
You'll be as right as rain tomorrow, love.
Yes, well, we'll have to see about that, won't we? At the moment, it seems most unlikely.
Well, here we all are. Custer's last stand.
Oh, aye, what were you up to then, just clearing off like that?
What do you mean, Hilda? Just clearing off like that?
Well, I'm not bothering to see how anybody else was. We might have all been dead for all you know.
Shut up.
Still, that's you all over, isn't it?
Shut up, you stupid beggar.
I'll say what I want.
You won't say what you want, else I'll bang you one.
Oh, that's very nice, isn't it? Birds of a feather, you two, aren't you? Thick as thieves, the pair of you.
What do you mean?
You can take that which road you like.
Leave her alone, Doc, will you?
Leave her alone.
Marvellous, isn't it? Just 12 hours since we nearly all got killed together. Now, here we are. At it again. Welcome back to the land of the living, if you can call it that.
Doctor,
Oh, hello, Mrs. Sharples.
you said you wanted to see me about Mrs. Caldwell.
Yes. There we are. I'll put this around here. In there. You look like Captain Hook with that lot on, nurse.
What is it?
The nurses say you won't believe them, that you want it straight from the horse's mouth.
Oh, what is it?
She's all right.
But she's still unconscious.
She's going to be all
She
right.
looks so
She's going to be
white.
all
And
right.
she's
Really,
showing no sign-
she's severely shocked. She's lost a great deal of blood, and she'll have to stay here with us for some time. But we've no real worries at all.
What do you mean, real worries?
I mean, we have no worries, Mrs. Sharples.
Thank you very much. What have you been doing with yourself, then?
He's been trying to use a firework as a Tommy gun, haven't you?
Yes.
Well, put it in a bag and shaking up. You started bonfire night a bit early, haven't you?
No, he's not the first one. We had a 7-year-old girl in this morning. Half her face is burned. You were lucky, Action Man.
How many will you get?
Well, we'll get our fair share tonight. There were 2,500 cases up and down the country last year.
Just with fireworks?
Well, bonfires and fireworks. So if you're thinking of letting any off tonight to celebrate the fact that Mrs. Caldwell is all right, you mustn't hold them in your hand. What mustn't you do?
Hold them in her hand.
Right. And now I think it might be a good idea if you got some rest, Mrs. Sharples.
Well, I enjoyed that.
You what?
Do you know, it's years since I read a newspaper right through. Very interesting. I think everybody ought to have 1 day a week off in bed.
I thought you did.
Oh, that's Sunday, I mean, that's physical. No, I mean 1 day a week off in bed for reading and thinking.
Stan, if you should die in here, will it be all right if we donate your brain to the nation?
I'll do that tomorrow. I'll lie here and think.
What about Stan?
Oh, you know.
I don't.
Life in general. My life. Where I went wrong. What the future's got. I wonder if it's out on the radio.
Hello.
Hello, love. Are you escaping and all?
Just thought I'd say au revoir.
Well, you're looking good, Nick. You've got quite a bit of colour in your face.
Mr. Walker, I am sorry.
What you talking about, love?
All this. And if I hadn't organised the trip...
Don't talk so daft. It was a lovely day out. Made a bit of a change anyway. I'll tell you what, we'll have a trip round the world next year in a small boat, shall we?
You're on. Where's Mr. Tatlock?
Oh, he was causing such a bother in here, they put him in a side ward on his own.
What was he up to?
You never believe it, I'm not codding. He was behaving like a 3-year-old with tonsillitis. Wanting drinks all the time, painting books. They probably got him in a cot.
Mrs. Caldwell's going to be all right.
Oh, good. How's Maggie Clegg?
Fractured pelvis. She'll be in for about a month.
We've not done so bad, have we? Eh? How's Ray?
We don't know.
Don't be so daft, our Linda. It's only my wrist. Yeah, well, I'll soon heal up. I'm not 97, you know. Hey, get off. My bones aren't as old as... You cheeky young monkey. Ah, it's lovely to hear from you again. No, not new. Oh, except I've had my kitchen done over. Oh, half the wall taken away. And the gas stove moved into the scullery. Smashing, you won't know it when it's finished. Yeah. Oh, that. Next Monday. Oh, I don't give a monkeys. They've abolished hanging and I could do with 3 months in strange ways and get my head down. No, don't bother, love. It's not worth coming over for. Be over before it started. Oh, don't you bother about it. Don't put yourself out there. Oh, I see. Of course I understand. I said so, didn't I? I tell you, love, it's not worth putting yourself out for. Yes, sure I will, as soon as it's over. Yes, I promise. Yes, I'll phone. Yeah. Big kiss for little Paul. Bye, love.
Oh, well, that's on phone.
Oh, Linda.
When's she arriving?
She's not. She can't manage it.
When's Dennis coming?
Well, he's got his work to see to, hasn't he?
I suppose so.
Won't even have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to hold my hand in court.
Who?
Len and Dave Smith. There I'll be, all by myself in court. Mysterious woman in black. Who is she, they'll say? What's she in for? Poisoning her husband, or is she a soccer hooligan?
I got us a couple of meat pies for us dinners.
Oh, good. Where'd you pinch them from?
What?
I said, where'd you pinch... Joke, Dot.
Look, if you want to imply something, why don't you come straight
I said
out
it was
and
a
imply
joke,
it?
Dot.
It's not a joke to me. I don't think there's anything
It's
funny
nothing
about
to
this
do
business.
with you.
Nothing funny at all. So
Look,
watch what
Dot,
you're
mate,
saying.
it's me that's in court on Monday, so what are you getting so flaming aerated for? You're the witness for the prosecution.
Because I'm flaming sick of the old flaming business, that's why.
Shall we rehearse it again, Dot? For Monday? When you asked me to bring them parcels home, I thought you said, bring the white bag and the brown one next to it. But you claim you didn't.
I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. I said bring the white bag next to the brown bag.
Who was it then, Dot?
How should I know?
Who was the thief? If it wasn't me, and if it wasn't you.
Oh, it's me again.
I'll take a size 36B handcuff and I'll come rather quietly.
It's just that, with the crash, and if you're not feeling too well, you're quite entitled to ask for the hearing to be postponed.
Oh, yes, why don't you, Elsie?
Why?
Well, you're not up to it.
I'm up to it. I'll be there, all right. Let's get this settled on Monday once and for all, shall we? Eh?
Ina.
Oh, so you've decided to come back to us, have you? Well, about time too. What kept you?
Ina.
All right, love, all right. It's all right. We're both still here. We've got a few more miles to do. You know, I don't think he's quite ready for us up there, you know. It's quite probable he hasn't made the beds.